Today, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger 6-scale figure by Sideshow. Super excited about this one. Freddy Krueger is my all-time favorite horror villain and possibly, just possibly, my favorite character of all time. Here's the Freddy Krueger Sideshow Exclusive Edition. I've been waiting on the Sideshow, just the standard edition, for quite a while now, but I found this on eBay last week. Had to go ahead and get my hands on this thing. I'm just too ecstatic to open it up. I have seen some reviews on it, and people do point out some minor flaws, maybe major flaws in their opinions, but to me, I think it looks pretty awesome. We're going to jump into it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you do enjoy the video, definitely consider liking and subscribing. So, here we go, guys. We're going to open this bad boy up. Box art is just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Alright, so here's the exclusive edition, what you'll see with the exclusive edition. The only difference in the standard or collector's edition of this figure from the exclusive edition sitting here is that you will not have that pointed glove hand up there. That would be closed off, I believe. And you would just have these three hands. We're going to go ahead and take everything out of here so we don't have to make a bunch of noise and, make a mess. We're going to get it all laid out, and here we go. Now that we have the figure out and the accessories laid out, we're going to go ahead and check out these hands. We're going to grab the first one here. This is going to be your closed fist hand. I think overall, the hands and the skin tone look pretty solid, but that's people's probably biggest complaint with this figure is the skin tone, and I do think it could be a little bit darker. I can agree with you there, but I'm not going to go crazy about it. It still looks pretty solid, doesn't it? All right, so on to the next hand. We have the pointed hand. Very similar in the skin tone. Of course it should match, but as far as the scars and everything, but it's a pretty cool, if you'd like to have Freddy pointed, which we'll be checking out some poses here in a little bit at the end of this video. So definitely make sure to stay tuned. We'll see some Freddy pointing with the glove and with his hand. All right, and this will be coming with all of the Freddy figures, the editions of this Freddy figure. So you'll get another glove hand. This is kind of like, come here, like where he's like calling somebody in a way. So that's this hand. I think the glove looks amazing, doesn't it? I mean, look at the detail on this. This figure was released in 2017, and this is also a used figure. The person I bought this from, though, did display it very well in a safe place and had never even opened up the base. So you can definitely tell they took care of this. It is like new, practically brand new. Wow, look at that glove. With the blood stain on the tips, I think it looks beautiful. What about you guys? Let me know. All right, and if you were lucky enough to get the exclusive edition, which is, by the way, limited to 1,000, so they're not making that one anymore, unless they decide to add more, but it should just be limited to 1,000. You'll be lucky enough to get this one, though. And this is the classic pointed hand, the pointed Freddy finger. Check that out. And these are not movable on here. They're kind of just stuck in place. So be careful with those, but they seem sturdy enough that they're not gonna, even if you were to drop the hand, probably won't break. But again, just be careful as always. Wow, look at that beauty. All right, so we're gonna check out the stand now. We're gonna go ahead and check out the stand. Push the figure to the side for a minute. But with this stand, what you'll need to do, it's very simple. There's a lot of stands like this. You'll just need to pop this little guy in place, and it's kind of like a crotch holder. That's really what it's called. And it'll help when you want to pose your figure. Just put them down like that. And so there's nothing really crazy special about this base, but like I said, the previous owner of this had never used it, and you can tell this thing is immaculate, as well as the figure. So shout out to them for taking amazing care of their figures. See, I'm seeing little fingerprints that I'm leaving here. But yeah, so that's going to be your base display stand. So I know this is the moment we're all waiting for, including myself. we're going to check Freddy out in depth, check out all the details here. So a nice close-up of the face. I think it's a very, very accurate portrayal of Mr. Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, in Dream Warriors. Probably the best and the fan favorite of all the Freddy films. And I'll have to agree, it's probably my favorite. And the articulation here is pretty solid. I mean, really, you got a ball joint that you rotate. You can rotate his head all the way around. One thing I do notice, it almost kind of seems like that skin tone up here is not matching that as much, but not a huge gripe, not a huge thing. I just think it's the lighting I have set up. It kind of makes his actual face look a little bit darker than it really is, so do note that. His hat, unfortunately, is not removable. I know that can be a deal breaker for many, but I don't think the hat looks bad. I know some people say it sits up a little high, but you know, there's a little bit of bias to this review, guys. Honestly, I'm like the biggest Freddy fan in the world, I think. So there's going to be a little bit of bias here. But to add, if you're a horror fan, a Freddy fan, he looks great, doesn't he? It would be nice to have a removable hat where you could maybe mold it down yourself and have it look however you'd like to. But I think they did great with it. Face mold, this is awesome. All the scarring. You can like see the tissue in his face, his teeth. Check out those eyes. They look so real. And the teeth, you know, the teeth are nasty. So we're going to be going down the body here. The sweater, I think, is pretty solid. I will have to agree that I do not think it's very green looking. In some spots you can kind of see it is, but it's a little more brown looking, the stripes are. Again, not a huge thing. I think that's something when I get the 6 scale, the other 6 scale Freddy, I might try to customize that and see how it turns out. I think I can maybe just stripe it up a little bit with some kind of dye or something on those green stripes. We'll see. The hand that comes on the figure, pretty sick as well, right? I mean, these gloves, you gotta admit, look fantastic. If they come out with a new one, I would hope they're, you know, as good as these gloves. I mean, they really did do a great job with the mold, the shape of these gloves. Everything about them is pretty much 100% accurate. And there's a hand he comes with, kind of just an open hand. Again, you can kind of see more on the skin tone here on the hand where it does seem a little dried up, right? A little bit not dark enough, really. I think it could use a little more shine, if anything. And then you get down to the pants here. Pants, I think, look pretty solid. I do see some people complain, again, about the pants. I mean, people are going to complain about everything if it's not perfect to their liking. But I can get down with the pants. I think they're pretty solid. Maybe they could be a little more brown in color. I think they kind of are in the film, but no big deal. Boots, I think the boots look pretty good, don't they? You know, you got some tread on the bottom. Pretty accurate for what those kind of boots would look like. And overall, just the tone of them, they look older a little bit, used, worn. I think they look pretty solid. And with all these things I'm you know, going on about, let me know if you disagree at all, or just let me know your opinion on this figure. I would love to know. We're not all going to agree on everything, and that's what makes, you know, life fun. So overall, yeah, I do think my camera might be adding a little bit. My camera and lighting setup might be adding a little bit of darkness to the skin tone, but you know, it's more on this kind of shade for sure. But it's really not a big deal to me. I think it looks fantastic, guys. So when you go down into the actual body of this figure, just to show you if you were to take the sweater off or just want to see what's underneath, he's really just on, you know, a molded classic, you know, kind of G.I. Joe body, except for he has this joint, so you can lean him up and down and around. It's pretty good movement there. And see these pants, they are just Velcroed. Pretty good. I think the only major thing I can point out here that I would like to change is the color of the stripes. They need to be a little more green in my opinion. But that's probably my only gripe with it. His articulation in the hands does have these a nice jointed elbow. I don't know if that's like a double joint or not, but you know, there's plenty of articulation in the arms overall. You can go up pretty high. So we're going to be able to pose him in many ways. Same thing with the legs here. If you want to have Freddy splitting, you could just about have him doing a split, right? That'd look pretty stupid, but yeah, so overall, great articulation. This is my favorite figure that I've added to my collection just ever. So that's pretty fantastic. We're going to take some looks at some poses here, and I hope you guys are excited about this. And for those of you I did tell you to stay tuned to the end of the video, well, here we are. We're going to do some awesome posing. So check these out. Overall, I think this is a pretty great figure. Great portrayal of Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors. I absolutely love this figure, to be honest with you. I am going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 due to the minor flaws such as the non-removable hat and the skin tone that I do think could be a little bit darker. Other than that, I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like and subscribe. I have plenty of great content coming. This is what this channel is all about, is horror collectibles. And like I said earlier in this video, there's going to be a lot of Batman added to that as well. So stay tuned. We have plenty of great content coming. See you again soon.